Hello everyone, welcome to another Classic Movie Monday, and today I'm going to be looking into The Big Sleep, which is another famous Humphrey Bogart film, and I believe this was made in 1946 if I'm not mistaken, and it's definitely considered one of his best for a variety of different reasons. For one, he plays the sort of character that we know him to play, which is the private detective. And in this case, his name within this film is Philip Marlowe, and basically he's hired by General Sternwood, and he basically is given sort of the task to sort of resolve debts that the general's youngest daughter accumulated. And the youngest daughter's named Carmen, and Humphrey Bogart's character, Philip, gets some assistance from Vivian, who is the older daughter. And things get a lot more complicated as Humphrey Bogart's character, Philip, ends up going deeper and deeper into the whole case. And it comes to the conclusion like you would expect Humphrey Bogart films, in particular his detective films. It ends in a way that a lot of his detective films do, but in a good way. In other words, it's in a way that you may or may not be able to see coming, and it's well orchestrated, and it all makes sense, and there's a lot of interesting elements, and also a lot of double crossing and things of that nature as well. So you end up seeing for what ultimately the case, or you ultimately end up seeing where the case goes and where it leads to and the final conclusions. And you are overall given a somewhat satisfactory ending. And I think what this film is in particular known for is the character interactions. I mean, obviously, Humphrey Bogart films are really known for doing that, in that they have these bits and pieces of dialogue between the characters that really establishes development and context. And you sort of see how something kind of simple ends up being a lot more complicated, and that's what is also sort of the beauty of a lot of these Humphrey Bogart films. And it just does what a lot of his good material has done over the years. I would say it's definitely not one of the more well-known works in the same sense as Casablanca or The Maltese Falcon, but at the same time, it still holds up as a mystery film, and it really does provide you a lot of what these old-timey films do provide. And again, like I've mentioned before in a lot of these other Classic Movie Mondays, is that these films are a whole lot more traditional. They move at a much slower pace. They are more dialogue heavy, and they are designed to provide a sense of more of atmosphere, and in doing so displays sort of more realistic feel, because again, there's not really a huge amount of explosions, and there's no sort of elaborate, world or effects, it's just very stripped down, like a lot of these films back in the day were, and they work for what they are. And if you enjoy that kind of style and format, then this film is, again, one that you are going to definitely gravitate towards. But again, if you are definitely not a fan of these more old-timey films, then again, this is probably not going to sway you all too much, because it follows that format pretty much to a T. But I think that's really all I can say about this particular film without really giving too much away. But I'd be more than happy to hear what anybody else has to say. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a pleasant day, week, month, and year, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Take care.